Hello, what is going on, Live Community? Tyler Sorensen here, coming to you live from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. I'm here to shoot you guys a video about all things personal development. But guys, I've been a part of Live since its very inception. I've been here since July of 2017, from pre-launch days all the way until now. And I'm excited for where this thing is going. I've been a part of this beautiful industry of network marketing now for 3 years. I got started with a sister company as a 20-year-old kid, going to college, and was just literally looking for a way to, one, create a residual leverage income stream. But two, guys, like there are so many people that they just go through life asleep at the wheel. And I was not going to be one of those people that fell into that trap. And one of the things I realized, at 20 years old when I first got started in this industry, and I made a decision that I was going to be coachable, that I was going to do what it takes, because it was better than the alternative, right? They say that, once the pain of regret outweighs the pain of change, then you will change. And that's kind of where I got to, right? I saw what was possible. Before this industry, I didn't know what I didn't know. And that's most people, guys, So I'm going to talk about personal development, really why it's so important to me, what it's done for me, and what I've seen it do for so many people, and just kind of talk about why it is that you guys need to take personal development, growing yourself, learning, very, very seriously. So I guess just to dive right into it, when I got started doing, entrepreneurship, this business network marketing, like I said, guys, I was not somebody that cared about personal development. The last thing that I wanted to do on a Friday night when all my friends were out partying, right, having fun or playing video games or wasting hours on Netflix, guys, I wasn't one to pick up a book, right, until I saw what was possible from people that had the results that I wanted, right? And I heard 2 years ago that, the people you take advice from, that's where you're buying your lifestyle, right? If you buy someone's advice, you're buying their lifestyle. And if you do what somebody does and you say what they say, you're going to get what they have 100% of the time. It's just physics. And I heard a quote 3 years ago by one of my mentors, Jim Rohn. He said, education will make you a fortune and formal education will make you a living. So guys, think about that. We all went through school, whether it was just through high school, or some of us probably got continued education through college. Maybe you got a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a PhD, whatever it is, guys. Think about that. Formal education will make you a living, and that's most people. But a self-education will make you a fortune, right? And I look back now and I think of how resistant I was. I wasn't resistant to learning. I was just resistant to learning about things that I didn't care about. I was resistant to learning about things that weren't going to directly impact my life and directly impact what I wanted to do with my life. And that is most people. So you guys are in an opportunity right now where you can truthfully build and create and design whatever life that you want to create. Whatever your beliefs are. You probably have a lot of limiting beliefs and a lot of doubts, and maybe a little bit of fear in doing this and building this, and doing anything on your own for the first time, betting on yourself, taking a leap of faith. So guys, you need to grow yourself. You need to equip yourself with the tools and the mindset and the belief systems that all go along with what you're going to need in building this business, guys. So again, a formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune, guys. And one of the things that I learned a long time ago about really just the way that our mind operates, guys, our mind is so complex. We only access about 10% of our minds. Like the smartest human being on earth, like at the most, you can enter about 10% of your brain's capacity at any one given moment. So think about that, guys. Our minds control every single thing that we do, and we don't even access about 90% or more of it, guys. And when you learn a new idea, when you learn a new mentality, a new way to think, when your mind is expanded by a new idea, it can never return to its original form. If you think of a chicken being hatched out of an egg, guys, the chicken can't go back into the egg. And your mind is the same way. Once you learn something, you can't just go back to your original way of thinking without it at least being on your mind. Before this industry, before I got my belief to where it is now, guys, I didn't have a problem with working, for the man. I didn't have a problem with somebody telling me what I was worth. I didn't have a problem with, trading away hours of my life endlessly for a paycheck because I just didn't know any better. I did not know anything else was out there. I just figured this is the hand I'm dealt. This is what I'm going to do. This is what everyone is doing. This is what everyone around me is doing. And there's so many people that fall into that trap, guys. So you have to, even though you're a part of this opportunity right now, it does not mean that, you have escaped, right? You have just taken the first step. You now have the platform and the vehicle, guys, to go create whatever life that you want, right? Just like if you go to a gold mine, right? I just sold you a shovel. That's what it is. That's what it is when you start this business. You just bought a shovel. So now it's time to start digging, right? And you got to have a map of where you're going to dig, or you might be digging for a while, right? So if you guys want to collapse some time frames, you guys are going to have to learn, the ways to do this. You guys can learn anything. You guys can learn how to present. You guys can learn how to talk to people. You guys can learn how to public speak. Guys, whatever it is, social media marketing, you guys can learn, but you have to lower the ego and realize that there are people around you and there are resources out there that can help you learn something that you at this present moment do not know. So you have to check the ego and say, listen, I need help. I want help. You got to be coachable, guys. You can't do this business or anything by yourself. There is no such thing as a self-made millionaire. Everybody got help from something. Everybody learned something from somewhere. Guys, this is all about information, and what you guys do with that information is ultimately it's up to you. Guys, but I'm going to talk about, really, why personal development. And I just kind of touched on, the first point, which is, you don't know what you don't know, which there's 4 levels of learning, right? You've got unconscious incompetence, meaning you don't know what you don't know, right? Like, I don't know how to play guitar. And before I ever knew that the guitar existed, back when I was like, 5 years old, that would be unconscious incompetence. I don't know that I don't know how to play guitar because I don't even know what a guitar is. Right? And the level 2 would be conscious incompetence, meaning I now know that I don't know how to play the guitar. Does that make sense, guys? So if I know that I don't know how to do something, just like, presenting or public speaking or, doing payroll or doing your taxes, guys, if you don't know how to do it, but you know that is out there and that skill can be acquired and it can be learned, that would be conscious incompetence. You are aware that you don't know how to do it. And then level 3, guys, would be conscious competence, meaning you can do it. So if you think about when you guys learned how to ride a bike, you weren't naturals in the beginning. You didn't know what you were doing right away. You probably fell down a bunch, skid up your knees, got hurt, cried and got back on it. And then after a little bit, you got the hang of it, right? And you had to take a very conscious effort to ride the bike at first. Right? That's conscious competence. You can do it, but you got to be really focused, right? You got to really pay attention when you're riding the bike to make sure you don't fall over until you learn it well enough to where you're to level 4 of learning, which is unconscious competence, meaning it's second nature. Just like blinking, just like breathing, and eventually just like riding a bike or doing any skill, repetition is the mother of all skill, guys, right? So if you do something enough, it will become second nature to you. So just like riding a bike, once you do it enough, it becomes level 4 of learning in your mind, and you never forget, how to do it, guys. But really, diving into what personal development is, I know a lot of people, they only box up personal development as reading books, listening to audios, going to seminars, getting around mentors. And guys, that's all good. That's definitely a piece of personal development. You can't apply knowledge that you haven't learned yet, guys. Books are abundant. Resources are abundant. Videos are abundant, guys. All the information's out there. It's just 1, whether you seek it out, and then 2, whether you pour it into your brain. We've all had so many references and we've had so many different beliefs poured into our mindset, since we were born. And then those are what shaped your life, guys. Everything that has happened in your life is a direct reflection of your belief system, because I'll use the acronym BAR, guys. When you have a certain belief system, depending on what those beliefs are, let's say you started this business, and let's say your belief is in the dumps. Like, you don't believe that this will actually work. You kind of just did it because your one buddy said, oh my God, you got to do this. You got to try it. And got you all excited and got you in, but you didn't even have enough belief in yourself, from that point. And that might be you, because that's some people, just being brutally honest. So if that's you, just for example's sake, if your belief is low, you're probably not going to take very good action. BAR stands for belief, action, results. When your belief is low, you're going to take very low or little action. And when you do that, you're probably going to get a low, if any, result whatsoever. You're probably going to get a negative result from taking very little action because you had very little belief, right? And when you get a little result that reinforces your belief, you're going to say, see, I knew I couldn't do it. You're going to take even less action. You're going to get a worse result, and it's just going to keep feeding off itself until you probably quit and go back to the same thing that you wanted to escape when you got started doing this in the first place. So guys, I challenge you to dive into personal development so you can enhance your belief system, because your beliefs will determine your actions, that will determine your results, and those results are going to reinforce your belief, guys, and it's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Guys, it's the same. It doesn't matter if it's negative belief or positive belief. They both fuel the action that fuels the result, that reinforces the belief, and it's self-fulfilling, guys. That's how the rich get rich and the poor get poor, guys. So you guys probably, if you're like me, grew up very blue-collar middle class. And, like I said, I didn't know what I didn't know until I learned it, right, guys? So I started reading. This was the first book I ever read, Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I would highly recommend that you read that book as well as Cash Flow Quadrant. And I'll go through some other books, in the end. But it caused me to expand my mind, right? So I learned something new, guys. And then once I learned it, I knew that I had to figure out how to apply it, guys. So the illiterate of the 21st century are not those that can't read and write. The illiterate of the 21st century are those that can't learn, unlearn, and then relearn again. I'll say that again. The illiterate of the 21st century are not those that can't read or write. It's those that can't learn, unlearn, and then relearn. So you guys grew up with a belief system, whether you got that from your parents, your teachers, your friends' parents, all your environment, everybody around you played a role in the belief system that you have. And at one point or another, they sold you on their belief system. I mean, think about that, guys. They sold you to believe whatever it is they believe, whether that's you absolutely have to go to college or you won't be successful. You absolutely have to get a good education. You got to get a high-paying job. That's the only way to have success. You need to save up all your money in a 401k, put in a Roth IRA, guys. One, that's BS. Two, you were sold whatever belief system, those around you poured into you growing up. And it's not your fault. You know what I mean? Being born broke is not your fault. But if you die broke, that is your fault. You have to learn. You have to, take the initiative to grow and learn new ways in order to get to a different place, in your life, guys. So, you need to maybe unlearn some of the bad programming that you were given as a kid. I learned that the only way to make more money was trade more of my time for it. And if I wanted to get a raise, well, best of luck. You got to go work some more hours. You got to go put in some overtime. Or if you're really feeling ambitious, you can go $100,000 in debt. You can go to college. You can get a better degree. And then you can get a better high-paying job once you're qualified, or once that piece of paper that you earned, aka paid for, says that you're qualified. Then you can go and make more money. That was the belief system that I was given growing up. And it's not my parents' fault. It's not my friend's fault. It's not my teacher's fault. They just didn't know any better. Guys, this stuff isn't taught in school. This stuff isn't taught, in college. And the only way that you're going to learn it is if you get around people that are already doing it. People that can show you and point you in the right direction of the knowledge, first and foremost, and then two, of how to use it, and how to apply it, guys, because knowledge is not power. Applying that knowledge is power, which is really the main topic, of what I want to talk about is learning through the process, learning through the act of doing. Because you guys could sit here, I could give you every book, I could give you every audio, I could give you every podcast, every seminar. You could spend all your money going to seminar after seminar, getting book after book, audio after audio. And if you never apply any of it, nothing will ever change. And you're really never going to even fully learn the skills that you're reading about, hearing about, or talking about, unless you actually go out and do it. For example, guys, my biggest fear growing up was public speaking. And I'm still not, necessarily quote unquote over that fear. And I'm definitely not, as good a speaker as I could be. But I knew I made a decision. I saw, 3 years ago, I saw the people making the most money in this industry were the people in the front of the room. They were the people with the microphone. So I said to myself, okay, how do I get the microphone? How do I get to the front of the room? okay, I got to figure out a way to speak. And it does not start easy, guys. You got to start, everybody starts somewhere. Start by sharing your story. Start by sharing why you're excited. Start by sharing, what made you feel the need to partner with this, to get started with this, and share that, guys. Find your voice. Everybody starts in a different place, but we all start, at ground zero. So figure out what it is that you want, and then decide what you need to do to reverse engineer that finish line, guys. And you got to practice. The only way that I've improved my public speaking is just by doing more speaking. Guys, talking on these calls, talking on stage at events, talking in person, in front of small groups, going in front of the mirror in the bathroom and like literally repeating my story to myself. I know it sounds weird and I know it sounds psychotic, guys, but you got to be psychotic to become iconic. How bad do you want your goals? Are you going to let, you're going to let somebody, picking on you because, you maybe sounded funny or you stumbled over your words, or whatever the case may be. Guys, nobody who gets started, you're not going to start basketball today and be LeBron James tomorrow. You're not going to start network marketing and be a Tony and Rhonda Lucero or a Nick Sarnicola or a Blake Mallon tomorrow. It just doesn't happen. Repetition is the mother of all skill. You guys have to polish your skill that you learned, right? You can learn a skill from a book. You can learn a skill from a video, from an audio. But until you apply it, until you practice it, you're never really going to learn it, right? And when you learn first, right? If you learn long enough and you learn something well enough, right? Get it to level 4 of learning, guys. You learn first and then you remove the L. You learn first and then you remove the L, guys. So if you want to get good at speaking, then you got to practice speaking. If you want to get good at, prospecting, then you got to start prospecting. If you want to get good at, closing, then you gotta just put yourself in situations of closing. You probably are going to suck at first. So you're probably going to be wildly uncomfortable. You're probably going to be nervous. You're probably going to be anxious, but that's where you're going to learn. To me, that is true personal development is by actually practicing, failing, falling down, getting up, falling down, getting up, getting punched in the face, getting skin knees, getting back up on the bike and doing it anyway, feeling the fear, doing it anyway, feeling the doubt, doing it anyway. Guys, I'm still learning. I'm still in this process every single day. Especially with speaking, guys, and I'm even grading myself on, did I use voice inflection, right? Did I make my audience laugh, right? Did I deliver the facts? Did I tell my story the right way? Did I touch on these certain points? Did I go too long? Did I speak too fast? Did I talk too slow? How was my body language, guys? There's so much to this, and I read all this in a book. I read all this years ago, and I saw it in videos. I listened to it on podcasts. But guys, until you start doing it, you're never going to truthfully learn fully. You're never going to tap into level 4 of learning, which is unconscious competence. See, guys, I'm not perfect, especially when it comes to speaking. And I maybe should have found a different example since since that's what I'm doing here. But no, guys, personal development is huge. You guys have to grow your mindset. Your level of success is never going to outweigh or outgrow your mindset, right? So if your mindset is here, your success can never surpass that. You're always going to be hitting the ceiling. But once you expand your mindset, okay, you can match it with success. You can match it with your result, guys. And even if maybe somebody whose income's up here, maybe they won the lottery, but their mindset's down here. Well, isn't it funny how people who win the lottery, they make it big, they win millions upon millions of dollars, how they're broke, filing bankruptcy like 5 years later? Did you guys know that in the NFL, the average NFL player is in financial stress or broke in less than 5 years of leaving the league? It's because they're not financially literate. How are you going to become financially literate if you don't learn? I learned financial literacy from Rich Dad Poor Dad. I learned more in this book than I learned in 3 years of business college, here in Wisconsin. So guys, just to give you guys some resources to use that I've read. So here's a couple books. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, amazing book. I already showed you Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I would also read Cash Flow Quadrant, Robert Kiyosaki, same author. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This is an amazing book. I wouldn't start with this book, but I would definitely read it. I've actually read this book 3 times. Again, guys, repetition is the mother of all skill. It isn't just about practicing the skills, and most of it is. But guys, even with the knowledge, if you guys think about watching a movie, How many of you guys have ever watched a movie multiple times over, and the second, third time, fourth time through the movie, you saw something different than you noticed the first time? Does that make sense, guys? How many of you guys have ever done that? Like, I'm definitely guilty, and it's the same thing when you read a book. One, you're honing in, you're impressing on your subconscious mind the knowledge that you took away from it the first time. But when you repeat it, when you go through it again, you're building the muscle. You're taking away new things that you didn't catch the first time, that you can then apply, guys. I would read Mindset by Carol Dweck. For our business especially, I would read this book, Go for No. This book is super short. It's like 80 pages. Go for No by Richard Fenton. Amazing, amazing book. Becoming Supernatural, Millionaire Success Habits, The Secret to Success, How to Give Birth to a Condor by yours truly, Mr. Mojo, Tony Lucero. I would read them all. I would get them all. And I would put them in your arsenal, guys. I would carve out time in your day, every single day, for personal development, even if it's just 15 minutes. And if you're like me that likes doing things in your net time, meaning no extra time, then maybe don't go the book route. Maybe go the Audible route. Go audiobooks. That's what I do. I pay $14 a month for a subscription to Audible, and I listen to books when I'm in the gym, when I'm driving. I turn my car into a mobile university, literally. And that's how I've gone through, dozens and dozens and dozens of books in the last few years, is because I'm doing it. I'm not having to, carve out time. But if you learn the best by sitting down, reading for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour a day, then do that, guys. But you need to make time for yourself, and you need to be pouring into your mind, because the unfed mind will devour itself. So many people will, be so quick to, put premium gas, the perfect gas in their, in their motorcycle or in their sports car or in their snowmobile or in their whatever. But it's like they won't do the same thing for their own mind. Like, guys, you need to constantly be growing, because if you're not growing, you're dying. Guys, and lastly, in recap, guys, repetition is the mother of all skill. You need to put in your 10,000 hours to truly become a master, at anything. But you will never be able to exceed your level of mindset in terms of your success. Whether it's financially, whether it's in your health, you just don't know what you don't know. Guys, so don't be ignorant, guys. Knowledge is out there. It is abundant. And sometimes all it takes is you asking. Sometimes it just takes you being resourceful and looking and being, having the intent of going out and seeking out new information. That's the only way, that I personally, that's how I ever stumbled across personal development. I wasn't necessarily, at 19 years old, I wasn't sitting back saying, somebody hit me in the face with a book that's going to change my life. I saw an opportunity that gave me the belief that I could create something, because before I had this opportunity, I did not believe that. I literally thought I was a victim of circumstance. I didn't realize that the same wind blows on us all. And I definitely had a woe is me mentality. And I just thought, I was playing the hand that I was dealt. And then, when this beautiful industry found me, I quickly realized a bigger world of what was possible. And I knew that there were things that I could attain. I just needed to enhance my mindset in order to unlock those things. Because, guys, everything that you want and everything that you desire in this life wants you to. Everything you want is out there. It's in your vortex. It's in your realm, to acquire, but you haven't gotten to the level of thinking yet that allows you to unlock that, right? If you already thought like a millionaire, you would already be a millionaire. If you already thought like somebody who makes six figures, you would already be making six figures. So guys, I challenge you to dive deep, invest in yourself, right? If you're not willing to invest, in yourself, nobody else is going to. And I've never found anything that pays a better return, than the investment that you're going to make in yourself, guys. So with that, hopefully you found this useful. Hopefully you got some value out of this. Hit me up on Instagram or Facebook, or if you got my number, message me if you ever want to, bounce ideas or bounce resources. I love hearing new books or new podcasts or new audios myself. And if you guys want more resources, I'm more than happy to pass along anything that I've read, anything that I've listened to, or continue to listen to and read and dive into, as I'm going here on a day-to-day basis, guys. We're here to help. We're here to help each other win. We're here to help each other grow in every area, not just, in this business. But guys, we're here for a much bigger purpose. We are here to inspire the world. And we're only going to do that by growing ourselves. And we're never going to be able to help somebody get to a place we've never been to. So guys, I challenge you, grow yourself so you can grow your business, so you can grow your life, and that you can truly become the person that you were meant to be and not settle for somebody that you feel like you were supposed to be. So with that, guys, I love you. Have a great, day or evening, whenever it is that you're watching this. God bless. I'll talk to you guys soon.